So yet another day of doing DoorDash. Sitting in my driveway, we're about 1.5 miles from a strip of food choices for people. So that's a good thing about where we live. It's really close to food. The bad part is there's people that want that food that are 5 miles away, and so and there's no food choices between here and there, so it isn't like I can go deliver and pick something up and bring it back and make a whole good round trip of it. So that's the bad part about my area. But the good part is I can make frequent trips all day long. I guess today we're doing by the hour. Sometimes I do by the order. To tell you the truth, there's not much difference in the amount of money that you make, except for this past Sunday. We made a good bit of money because of the tips. There was one person that had already tipped, like it was a Taco Bell order, and they'd already tipped when I picked it up, and then after I delivered it, they gave another $10 tip. So they tipped $18 total. And then there was another, it was one of our last orders. It was from Pizza Hut. It was like $4 to pick up, and then, but it was only like, it was less than 2 miles to deliver. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And it's right there in some apartments nearby the house. And then the lady is like, oh, well, I guess my daughter didn't tip you. I'm gonna tip you. So she was fumbling through her purse, and then she hands me a 20. I'm like, yeah, it's like, this is a lot to be tipping. She's like, oh no, I feel blessed today, so I'm gonna tip you good. So we get a $20 tip. So we made a little bit over $100 that Sunday. Oh, and for DoorDashers, if you haven't noticed, this is a DoorDash hat. There's some DoorDash right here on the side. This is the key to getting your orders at all these restaurants quickly. When they see the hat, they recognize DoorDash and they come to you. It isn't like, I've been in a line full of other DoorDashers and they come to me first because I have the hat. So it's not much money for the hat. It was like, what was it? It was like $3 or $4 for the black one. I have a black one too. The red one was like $10 on the DoorDash website. It pays for itself, just like the pizza bag. So today, it's about 9:45 right now. We're gonna stop at about 1:30 in the afternoon, and we're just gonna take you along for the ride today, let you see how things happen. So, all right, get buckled. Okay, so another question you might have asked me is like, why are you door dashing in a Suburban? This thing guzzles gas, right? Well, if you're making short trips, even a fuel efficient car like our Jetta guzzles gas too. So the cost per mile is a little different. It's almost double, but it's not too terribly different. To run the Jetta, it's about 17 or 18 cents per mile. To do the Suburban, it's about 26 or 27 cents per mile, depending on gas prices right now. So the other part of it is the Jetta, like the transmission just doesn't hold up. After about 1.5 hours, 2 hours of driving around, doing errand type work, it doesn't like it. It could go all day on the interstate, no problem, but whenever you start going around the city, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, it starts, like, you can feel the transmission starts to slip. It kind of grabs sometimes, and it's not a very so I want to keep the car lasting as long as possible, so I'm not going to be door dashing in that. This thing has like heavy duty, it had the heavy duty towing package, so it has transmission coolers and beefed up everything for the transmission. So yeah, this is a better suited for door dashing, especially if I want something that's going to last a while. If we continue door dashing, like I kind of like it because it seems to be a good hobby. I'm actually aiming to get like a smaller car that like a hatchback or something that actually has a manual transmission, and I think that would last. Should last a good amount of time doing DoorDash. It'd be better suited for it than this or the Jetta. In our past videos, we were still kind of new to DoorDash, and we're trying to find a good place to operate in, and it was just right under our nose. Our area is probably the best area to DoorDash in. It has a lot of there's hotels nearby. There's a lot of food choices down this street right here. I mean, we have everything from Arby's to Zaxby's, so everything's included. We have area a little bit not too far away from here that we go to often, which is included in our zone, and it's good for like pizzas. Like there's a Papa John's over there that stays busy. They must have 20 employees in the back making pizzas all day long. And yeah, so we go hang around over there. It's the Mableton area. Right now we're in Lithia Springs. It's only a few miles away. And yeah, it generates a lot of revenue for us because people like pizzas. And so pizza time starts around like 4 p.m. like when kids get out of school, and goes up to about 9:30. So I'm just gonna park right here and then hop out to go to IHOP. Exit. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Yeah. So picked up. It's 3.7 miles for the delivery. One of the benefits of DoorDashing in your area is you know the roads very well, hopefully, and so you're going to be very efficient. And then the other bad part about DoorDashing is apartment buildings. They suck because there's no consistent layout to the apartments, like the numbering, and so the good thing about if you just consistently DoorDash in your area, you're going to learn the numbering system for that apartment complex. So then you can become a little bit more efficient and not wasting as much of your time trying to find the specific apartments. And then a lot of times, like I've already had, like, we've only been DoorDashing for what, a month and a half or so, almost, no, 2 months now, right? You actually start to get repeat customers or like groups of customers in the same area that order all the time. So I mean, there was like, I don't know, a couple of houses like in a row that would just order like almost every night consistently, that I was serving for a while. But yeah, this kind of, I don't know, there's an anxiety that builds up, like, okay, when am I gonna get an order? When am I gonna where I'm gonna deliver to, what kind of food it is. So there's an excitement to it. So I think I'm gonna continue doing this, even if I do get like a full-time job somewhere. So, yeah. And then every once in a while you do need a break. You know, like we took off the past 2 days. I was just tired of driving, you know, because I'll drive for 6 or 7 hours a day sometimes, and it's like, that's enough, you know. It's like taking a road trip every day, especially like if it's on the interstate, it's not too bad because you're just following the road, but whenever you're doing DoorDash, you're looking at your phone, you're in and out your car, you're driving around the city sort of, or suburbs in my case, and it's not too that part's not too fun, but it takes a toll on you, and especially like your eyes, like you're always constantly readjusting and everything. So yeah. Oh, and another thing about driving the Suburban, it like we could drive this thing for hours. I could drive this all day long around the city, and it drives the same from the time I start to the time I finish. It doesn't seem to like overheat or anything. It's just very consistent when we compare it to our Jetta. The Jetta, like I said, hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's like screaming, like, please stop. You know, it just doesn't want to. You know, the transmission just doesn't like it, for sure. Engine, I guess, is okay, but the transmission, I don't know. Something about Volkswagen transmissions.
Bear right onto South Gordon Road.
Oh no, South Gordon Road. This road doesn't seem to end.
In 900 feet, turn left onto Factory Shoals Road Southwest.
Yeah, so with DoorDash, you could either earn by time if it's available, or you could always earn by the order. And for the most part, they earn about the same. You know, you're not going to get too much different in pay, like per hour, if you look at it that way. Like if you try to earn either way. The difference is whenever the stores are like being slow, like especially places like McDonald's, IHOP is usually slow. Even Taco Bell can be really slow sometimes. And the difference is if you're earning by hour, you can only cancel like twice before it kicks you off their system. You know, they don't want you constantly canceling orders if you're by the hour. But if you're going by the offer, you could cancel as much as you want. And so that's a good thing, because like you could cancel orders or like decline orders that are like too far away based on the amount they're paying. If it pays way too low, for sure. Like there's some orders that are $2 for the delivery, and it's miles and miles of driving. And then the other thing is if the store's slow, like I could be in the store and wait 30 minutes for an order, or I can, if I'm going by earning by the order, then I can like say, hey, this store's taking too long. I'm just gonna drop this order and I'm gonna find another one. And I've done that many times already. I usually give the store about 5 minutes for the order. If it's within a decent amount of money, I'll give them about 5 minutes. And after that, I'm gonna cancel the order and go find another one, because there's another place next door that can give me an order to pick up. If the order is like over $5, then I'll wait a little bit longer. Especially if it's like $9 or $10, I'll wait a lot longer for that order at the restaurant. But usually I only give them about 5 minutes now. If you wait too long, you're wasting your time, and you're not going to get paid as much per hour. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Where is this place at? 1 minute left. Okay. On this order, we earned $5.75. It's a fair. Oh look, we got another pickup. Burger King. Yeah, so we earned $5.75 on this order, and so we already got another order to go pick up, which is good. And I usually don't go in people's driveways. I go find like a good place to turn around, usually at like an intersection or something. A lot of neighborhoods. What I noticed is a lot of people that make orders, this is just something that I've observed, is a lot of people that make the orders with DoorDash live in a cul-de-sac or live nearby a cul-de-sac. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. I don't get it, but it's just something I observed. So we're going to pick up at the Burger King in Mableton, and which is good because we had traveled to Mableton, which is outside of our zone, or at least parts of it is. And then so we're gonna pick up in Mableton and maybe deliver back towards the area where we live in Lithia Springs. They're very close by, and I like I guess kind of having that dynamic between Lithia Springs and Mableton. I can easily kind of go back and forth between the two and kind of make loops between the two, and it kind of keeps you a lot busier and just keep that money flowing in. Whereas if we went to like another place we tried was like Dunwoody, and it had kind of the same thing between Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, and Roswell. You could kind of make loops between all three, and that worked out good. But if we went to Douglasville, it's like one of the neighboring cities, it kind of sucked because now your hub is only Douglasville. There's not really anything nearby, and you're having to make 5-mile to 10-mile trips to go deliver food each time, and you have to come back all the way to Douglasville. And so it just ate a lot of time just on that return trip where you're not getting paid. So that's why we like our area. Our area has a lot of little hubs of food around, and in between that is all residential. When we do have to go to like the industrial areas, that it's not too far to drive back and get more orders. So yeah, that's one thing that we like about our area, is that there's like little pockets of food and pockets of residential for orders, and then there's also the hotels and all the industrial areas that are nearby. So yeah, we found a good area right under our nose. We're here at Burger King. It's the first time I picked up from this one. I hit the curb. That's the other good thing about having a Suburban. I don't care about curbs. You know what? Screw them. I'll go over them. You know? No big deal. It's a big Suburban. What is gonna hurt? Nothing. You know? What? 536.7 yards. The people could have walked here. Yeah. So if you're using DoorDash or want to use DoorDash, I highly recommend getting the subscription, because now you don't have to pay per order. Your order gets paid every month. You know, like you pay $10 a month for unlimited orders. You know, you might be paying more per order through DoorDash than through the website of the restaurant you're ordering from, but look, 500 something yards to deliver. You know, I probably should have just walked it over. Now the only thing is, it's so close. I don't know what road to turn down. There's a little.
Turn right, then turn left.
I guess.
Turn left, then 5,648 Mapleton Parkway Southwest will be on the left.
5,007.
Mapleton Parkway Southwest is on the left. The customer requested you hand them the order. Additional instructions are provided in the Dasher app.
What? 5,648. Here we go. Complete this delivery. I'm gonna confirm it was delivered. $4.76 to deliver 500 yards. Isn't that awesome? Papa John's. Look, Papa John's is open. Our favorite Papa John's.
Drive northeast,
Now,
then turn right.
we'll do Papa John's now. I think that's the closest I've ever delivered. Was it didn't even say call it in miles, it was in yards. 570 something yards. Right here. We just went around the corner. I mean, she could have easily walked it, but whatever. If that's what she wants to do, that's fine. I'll deliver. And then we're gonna go a little bit past the Burger King right now for picking up at Papa John's, which is kind of early for Papa John's. It's only 10:20 right now. So, a little bit early for Papa John's, but I guess people want pizza. Oh, and one thing about pizza, like, you can tell the quality of pizza just by the smell of it. And I've noticed that my nose does not like Little Caesars pizza. It makes our car stink. It's just horrible. And like we've eaten Little Caesars pizza before, and it just messes up our stomach. The whole family, like me, the wife, the kid, we just don't like it. It's not good for us. But like Papa John's, like I could pick this up all day long, and it doesn't smell up our car. I don't know what they do at Little Caesars. I guess they burn the pizza or something.
Papa John's store 402 is on the left.
And this is where I like to park at Papa John's, just right under the tree, right here. Yeah, so this is their first order of the day. Order number 0001. Papa John's. You got a 6.3 mile drive. Yeah, so we just picked up at our favorite Papa John's. It was their first order of the day. Order number 0001. It's on the box. And but it's a little bit over 6 mile drive to go deliver it, so that's the only bad part. But in general, we like picking up at Papa John's. They're usually pretty quick. They're not the fastest, but you don't have to wait too terribly long sometimes, ever really. So because they match the amount of people at the store working to the amount of work that's needed at the time. Which is, I like them for that. Yeah, so let's go deliver this pizza. And a lot of times at that Papa John's, especially like during busy time periods, like later in like late afternoon, usually early evening, it's usually double orders. Like I pick up from there. I usually pick up 2 orders at a time. And from there, I think one time I picked up 8 pizzas from that store at one point at one time. So it was but yeah, so I like that Papa John's because we go there usually double orders, so it pays a lot. So go pick up from there, and a lot of times the customer does tip at Papa John's, whereas if you go to like Little Caesars, very often the customer doesn't tip. It's very rare. A few times that they did tip, it was in cash at Little Caesars. So, yeah. So
535 Frederick Court SW is on the left. The customer requested you hand them the order. They added the following instructions. Customer instructions. Bring plates and napkins.
Huh? Yes, confirm. Wow, not those 3 That's good. Okay, done. But now we're outside of our zone. You see, we're outside of our zone, so we have to drive back to our zone to get another order. Unless if there's another order along the way, it might give us something, but most usually not. So at least we're not too terribly far from our home area. Yeah, so one thing that was noted they left a note in this one to pick up plates and napkins, and you know what, I really don't see that note until I get to the delivery point. So putting in notes like that, we're just not gonna see. So make sure you have all your own condiments and plates and napkins and stuff like that, because we just don't have that. It's not gonna be something we would pick up for you unless if we see it at the beginning of the order, which is not gonna happen. Yeah, so stuff like that, or like get extra this or whatever, unless if the store puts it in for us, we're never gonna do that. So you can pretty much forget that. Yeah. So now we're getting stopped by the police. At least they're gonna do the traffic here because UPS is letting out all their trucks right now. Don't we gotta? There was a FedEx truck earlier that was mixed in there. Wow, that's a lot of trucks. Going back to Chick-fil-A for another pickup. That's another store that like you can get a lot of orders with. So normally we actually have a little spot we hang out by that's in between McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, or next to McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. And you may be wondering, Neil, it's cold outside. Why aren't you wearing a jacket? And that's because I just run hot. You know, I can, if it's less than 40 degrees outside, I'll wear a jacket. But since I'm going between the car, a building, you know, I just get too hot inside the car. So I just don't wear a jacket, and I just deal with a cold temporarily. I don't like being super hot. Yeah, this is our second order for Chick-fil-A today. It just gives us orders. Like, you just hang around it and it's gonna start popping up on your screen like, hey, come pick up. And the customers are actually pretty good. Usually they tip a little bit, but with the by hourly thing, it's like you usually don't get very many tips, which is kind of strange. I don't know how DoorDash figures all that out, but yeah. But if it's by the order, usually almost I'll say 90% of the time you're getting a tip of some sort, you know. So, but you really don't see the tip because it's rolled up into the price that they show you. So you really never know if they tipped or not. So Chick-fil-A is kind of interesting because there's a lot of them, but then there's not a lot of them. So down this street, this is Thornton Road, which if you go that way, it's Camp Creek, and if you go that way, it's, I don't know, Highway 6 or whatever. There's a Chick-fil-A every 15 minutes of driving. So if you start off at the airport where this street ends, there's a Chick-fil-A right outside the airport. And you drive 15 minutes and you're here. You drive another 15 minutes, you're in Hiram. Another 15 minutes, you're in Rockmart. And then another, 20 minutes and you're kind of in Cedartown. And there's a Chick-fil-A all the way down. There's like 5 or 6 Chick-fil-A's down the street, but they're 15 minutes apart. But this is our Chick-fil-A. It was rebuilt probably, 3 years ago? And they did an okay job as far as managing traffic. But I really wish what they do is buy out the McDonald's next door, remove this street in between the two, and extend their parking lot to where they have a bigger parking lot, and then move the street over to the other side of the parking lot after it's extended, and just get rid of the McDonald's. It's no good anyway. So yeah, that's my thought on it. Yeah, just picked up from Chick-fil-A, and there must have been 3 or 4 other DoorDash people there, all with their phones out. You know, you can tell who it is. The lady, she had her back turned, and then when she turned around, like everybody was just standing there, and she looked at me first because I'm the one with the DoorDash hat. See that? That means something. That means I'm ready for business. Let's do this. You know, and I got my order first. These other guys were there before me. So it pays as little, you know, it's just $10. Get your hat, and you're gonna save a few minutes each time, maybe. They have it in black and red. The red one is more visible, for sure, and I usually get a better response with the red hat. I don't get as much of a response with the black one. So, yeah, get the red hat, wear it, or don't get one and just wait. It's better for me, for sure. Oh God, it's cold out there.
How much was
It
it?
was like 7 something, but so they must have tipped because that's too close. Or for that kind of price, they tipped pretty well. Another one, Jersey Mike's. I'll accept that.
Drive east, then turn right onto Waterford.
We just finished the delivery and the thing is dinging again. So this pretty busy time. I mean, it's getting close to noon, so so it's lunchtime definitely. People want their food. Super busy here. No need for us to go venture to another place where we think it might have better tips or whatever. Kind of like how we were going to Dunwoody, like Sandy Springs area. This place is just as good, and I don't have to go drive half an hour away. Oh, bumpy bump bumps. Got some Taco Bell. He just walks home. So another update, it's cold outside. So I'm debating on whether or not to put on my jacket. The thing's been going off like crazy. Like every time I drop something off, it dings again. Like, go pick this up. So that's been good. Yeah, just picked up from Pizza Hut a pizza and some wings for somebody. Couldn't even pronounce their name. That's the other thing. Like, people like, name your babies good. Don't make up names. You know. That was like like some of these names. I just show the person like at the store, like, hey, this is who I'm picking up for. You know. Like at first I thought there was like the name. It looks like the abbreviation for me in real life. Now we have a view of the Atlanta skyline next to a graveyard. You get what you get. How the app kind of takes you back to the same place over and over again. It knows, okay, this person delivered here, let's keep delivering. We are back at Papa John's for another pickup. There's only one car in the parking lot besides us. And, let's see, by this store. I think it's two. No, it's just one order. Two 12-inch pieces. Let me get out of here. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. But yeah, Papa John's knows how to staff their operations, especially this one right here. Like, I've been in there, like on, like I think it was election night, and there must have been 20 people working back there. Right now, it's really slow, and they only have one guy working in the back. He works the front and the back. That's all they need. You know, they're very efficient in how many are they can easily calculate how many people they need at any given time. They probably have, I would think they would have people on like, what you call it, on call or something to say, hey, we need you now, and they fly over, you know, because it's always always have the right amount of people staffed there, which is good. It's unlike McDonald's where they have too many people staffed and they still can't get an order out. Yeah, we've been waiting here for probably 10 minutes or so for somebody to come pick up their pizza. But I'm glad I'm early because then I'm still getting paid while I'm waiting for the pickup. First I was waiting outside in the cold, and then I'm getting a little too cold, and it should be a quick pickup. But then, like, I want to send my supervisor out to get it, and that hadn't happened yet. And yeah, so been waiting here. Yeah, so yeah, just now I've finished dropping off an order at UPS for one of the employees, but yeah, I was there for at least 15 minutes waiting on them to come get the order from the like the pickup and drop off area for like the buses. The first thing that happened was she put the pin in the wrong area. So yeah, I went to a different building further down the road, and that took extra time. And by the time that I got to where she wanted, she still wasn't even there. So she sent her supervisor came and picked it up. And so from the time that I had texted her about that and she told me that her supervisor was coming to pick it up, it was like 10 minutes. So it was a lot of wasted time, and finally got in one order before we want to pick up at Chick-fil-A now, but we're lucky that we got that before like our time was going to end. So it sucks that we either you're waiting at the restaurant forever for an order, or you're waiting at the customer. This is the first time where we have to wait on the customer that long. Usually, most of the time is either drop it off or maybe a minute or so, but this was like at least 15 minutes we waited. But I was getting paid by the time, so what do? You just have to kind of sit and wait there. But I was messaging her, telling her that I have to cancel the order because I can't wait that long. And then finally her supervisor showed up. So, some people's children, I tell you. We did make like over $15 for that. So it's good and bad. I don't think there was a tip. I think that was just the time, because we're getting paid by the hour right now. Getting paid by the time, plus it was out of our zone, so usually that's like an extra $2 for that. So yeah, it took up a lot of time for that, and I could have had another order easily. Been picked up for sure and almost dropped off by now at least, but nope, I'm just picking up. So it's our third Chick-fil-A pickup for the day, and definitely our last for the lunch time period. So we're gonna be done with this. Today we made $69.61. We were out for about 4 hours, 10 deliveries, so it's not too bad. Pretty good stats for the day.